Hour with John Lee.
We're going to begin with Leonard and Hagler. We're going back to the 80s. So this kind of thing, this one is a great one because it develops over the 80s. And they came in at different times and they were totally different. And so this debate rages today. It rages today. Leonard or Hagler. And I think the general perception is basically that Leonard was the rich man's choice, and some, the rich kid, a pretty boy, fucking media creation, and Hagler was the hardcore, punched his way to glory type of guy. That's just simply not true. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, he came from the ghetto. That kid was poor. His whole family was fucking poor, and they had no way of doing anything. He just happened to be a pretty kid, He just happened to be a really good-looking lad and highly intelligent. But he came through. I mean, he went to the local boxing clubs and he trained and he practiced and he had talent. He went to the Olympics, absolutely smashed it. And the thing is, with him, because he was so good-looking, because he was so charismatic, and he spoke so well and he moved so well and the slip, slap, fucking bang tactics of the man, he was automatically compared, and quite rightly in many ways, to Muhammad Ali. So, getting to the late 70s, Muhammad Ali, he's kind of dying out, really. He's having his last big battles, his last hurrahs. I'm not going to talk about that too much because it kind of treads on my own toes for another boxing rivalries power hour that I want to do on heavyweights. And so, as that's kind of coming to an end, people are starting to focus more on Sugar Ray. And he's got all the ingredients. He's like a little Ali, and this is the comparison that's made. And you can say, well, that's just fucking around and flipping about, but it's not, because he wasn't doing a really fucking poor Muhammad Ali impression. That was his own style. It was his own flavour, and he was very, very good. And I'll leave it at that and go to Marvin Hagler. He was a totally different kind of cat. He was all business from day one. Again, poor background. It's not the biography channel, you know what I mean? Just giving it a flavour of who they were. And he came through and he was fucking bangtastic, you know what I mean? He was banging everyone out. And for some reason, and this is what I think part of the rub, the establishment hated Hagler, right? They liked Sugar Ray. They were all right with Sugar Ray. I had a black commentator saying that he was acceptable to white America. What the fuck does that mean? I mean, he's a boxer, he's an athlete, he's there to do a job, he's doing it better than everybody else. What the fuck's he got to do with anything, the colour of his skin, or if he's black or white? And this isn't no fake, Twitter outrage. I really do. I think everybody with the right mind would think, what the fuck's he got to do with anything if he's white or black? Put him in the ring and let's see what he's got, And Marvin Hagler clearly had it, you know what I mean? His body, there was nothing gone to waste on that guy. And he was cut, he was solid, his shoulders are only slim like that, you know what I mean? He hasn't really, if you're looking from the back, he hasn't really got any neck muscles. He could have them if he wanted them, but he's only developed the muscles that he knows he's going to use. And he's banging people out left and right. But they will not give him a title shot. It gets so bad, in fact, so conspicuous, that they won't give this Marvin Hagler a shot at the title because he doesn't fit their preconceived ideas or preferences. I don't even really understand it. But they didn't want this guy to have the title. All right. So they tried to stop him getting a title shot, and in the end, Teddy Kennedy had to step in. And him and a few other senators, they got legal counsel, and they went after the Boxing Federation, took them all the way to I think they went up to the Supreme Court to get this fucking guy a shot at the title. They literally was, behind closed doors at least, were saying nah, and they wouldn't give him a shot at the title. So eventually that happened for Marvin, and we'll look at a bit of a timeline here because they were part of a group which is so cheesily, bastardly called the fucking Fab Four. The Fab Four were the Beatles, right? The little fucking music bellends from Liverpool. These guys were fighters. They were bang, bang, knock you out fighters. Fab Four is just so soft and cheesy. And who were they? Well, you've got, for example, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and of course, we've got Leonard and Hagler. So these were the four in the 80s. Nothing really going on in the heavyweight division of any note. You know, I mean, it won't be on there. It won't be on any further power hours, I don't think. I mean, Tyson came in at the end. You had Burbick. You had Holmes, Witherspoon. You know, there was some good fighters. Cooney, but nothing to write home about in terms of box office. These four were all box office. They were fucking massive. They were smash wicked, and they were totally different. All four of them were totally different. So you've got Roberto Duran, known as Manos de Piedra. He's from Panama, and Manos de Piedra means hands of stone. Apparently, bang, when Duran hits you, you fucking know about it. Goes right through your body. You know, it feels like he's broke your fucking feet. You know what I mean? If you've ever been jarred like that, if you've ever been impacted like that, where it goes through your body, shock like that. He had that, bang, 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 and he used to work it to the body, and he was brutal. And he had the fucking dead eyes, man. Dead eyes like I can't pull. Straight out the ghettos of Panama, you know, brutal. And he played on it, and he was abusive in and out of the ring. He was a very, very abusive guy. And in 1980, Leonard had to fight. I mean, he had to. He never ducked anyone. None of them ever ducked anybody. He had to fight Roberto Duran. And, I mean, most of the media and the experts gave Leonard no chance because Duran was so fucking hard, and he was proven. He was a proven hard case. And he was non-stop, perpetual motion, bad intentions. You fucking having it. What you doing here, you ponce? Get the fuck out of my ring, you know. And he's going in there, pretty boy, you know. Yeah, I won the Olympics. Well, you know, that's all right. That's very nice. But, you know, you're playing big boys games tonight. And I think that played on Sugar Ray's mind. I think he was kind of paranoid about that. And he thought to himself, you know, everyone thinks I'm a fucking ponce. Everyone thinks I'm fucking soft. I'm a soft ass. And I'm going to fucking jib around the ring, stay away from him, you know, get me licks in where I can, and wait for that bell and try and eke out a points victory against the guy. Because everybody had seen Sugar Ray, and they thought they knew what he was all about. But they didn't rate him as being hard. They didn't think he was an hard lad. So I think he's gone in there in that first fight against Duran, and he's thought, no, I'm going to show you. And that means you, Roberto. I'm going to start with you, but I'm going to show everybody. I'm fucking hard. You know, don't let the face deceive you. You know what I mean? And he went in there, and he went fucking toe-to-toe with Duran. And you can see during the fight, I mean, he gets his fucking wicked combinations in on Duran. Bang, 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 bang. But he goes toe-to-toe with him. Right? Don't do it. Just don't do it. You're going to do it. Right, fucking don't. Yeah? Because Duran will fucking kill you. And that's what everyone expected. And even if you watch it back when you've already seen it, you think he's going to get battered every time you watch it. And Duran's going at him. Bang, 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 bang. Fuck it. And there's times when you think Duran's taking his head clean off with that one. You know, he gets inside him. Bang, body, bang, bang, bang. Jaw. And then you realise, fuck me, this pretty boy can take his licks. You know what I mean? He is fucking hard. He's not a show pony. And people were rewriting their own ideas and stories about him during the fight because a lot of people have gone out on a limb and said he was a media creation. He was just a disco boxer and nobody should take him seriously. And Roberto Duran's going to drop him in 2, drop him in 3. And the guy, he went toe-to-toe with him. He went the distance with an absolutely brutal and tremendously effective Roberto Duran. You know, I think anyone who knows the boxing knows, remembers and respects Roberto Duran. And so I think, from my perspective, the way I'm looking at it, especially when I'm focusing on Leonard and Hagler, I've got to give a load of credit there to Sugar Ray. I don't think Sugar Ray Leonard's a particularly nice man. But I'm not weighing people up today based on how nice they are. I've got to give him credit for doing that, for going in there, shutting everybody up and saying, no, 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 no. It's not just a question of who's going to knock me out. I'm a serious, serious fighter, and I happen to be much better than everybody else on a technical level. And I think he showed that night, and I think everybody sat back then and took notice of this guy, because that a lot of the people in the boxing world thought, well, yeah, okay, he's good, he's entertaining, we like the way he moves his feet. But you put him in there against somebody serious, he's either getting knocked out in the first couple of rounds, or he's going to fall apart in the 8th, the 9th, get into that stretch there. He's not going to have the stamina, he's not going to take the licks, he won't be able to come back, he won't take rounds off and come back at you. He hasn't got that. And then he found out, actually, this guy can go fucking toe to toe, round for round, with Roberto Duran, and he can go the distance, and he took it to points, and he lost on points to Roberto Duran. What credit do I give to Roberto? Plenty. It's not easy to fucking fight, as everyone found out. It's not easy to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, even if he plays right into your hands. It's not easy because he's fast and he's hard, and he gives you wicked combinations. And we saw over the years he's a great finisher as well. And so then, there's an immediate comeback, an immediate rematch has to be sorted out for this, because because there's a lot of controversy around it. A lot of people thought that that Leonard won the fight. I don't think he did, but certainly a lot of people wanted to see that again. And so they did. They had another one same year. And this time, Leonard, he'd learned from the first one. Not just learned that, yeah, I'm an hard lad and I can take my licks and I can fucking go toe to toe with the hardest man in boxing. Not just that. I don't need to. Right? So I went in there and I played your game. I took you as far as any man could. Right? Now it's my turn. So he gets down and he's already feeling pretty confident by the looks of him coming in. And Ray Charles is in the ring and he's singing. And Ray Charles is a great singer, obviously. And he goes up to Sugar Ray and he says, fucking knock him out. And Sugar Ray don't exactly oblige, but he comes out and he says, right, you're playing my game tonight, son. And he's in, he's out. He's in, he's out. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Naughty. And Roberto Duran can't get fucking nowhere near him. He hasn't got the skills. He hasn't got the footwork. Watch Sugar Ray's footwork. Both feet moving at the same time. Both feet off the ground at the same time. And he seems to be able to jump and land and like consciously land wherever he wants. And bang, bang. Catch you on the way in and he's gone. And he schooled him. He gave him a pure boxing lesson. Proper humiliated him. And you're watching it, and Roberto Duran is not to be taken lightly at all. And Sugar Ray's giving him the chin, all that. Come on, he's giving him the whatever the fuck that's called, can't remember. Big wind up, bang with the left. That he started that. Give it some of that, bang with the left, right in the jaw. That's not going to knock Roberto Duran out, but it's a piss take to wind him up. And the whole crowd's laughing. Everyone's laughing at Roberto Duran. He's not used to this. He's normally a man of terror. And you can see him in the corner. His eyes aren't there. He's thinking, what the fuck's going on? This is not me. I'm Roberto Duran. You know what I mean? But that fucking stone cold look is not there. And then, as we're going through, I can't even remember what round it was, to be honest. Not really bothered. It was 7th, I think. Middle rounds. I think it was the 7th. He's getting battered. He's getting humiliated. He can't get near him. Sugar Ray's doing his little shuffles and whatnot. And he just says, no mas. No more. And he quits in the middle of the ring. Sugar Ray, you can see, he doesn't know what the fuck to make of this. What's good? What are you doing? Where are you going? And this is one of the biggest moments in boxing history, when Roberto Duran, the hardest man in boxing, many considered to be the hardest man in the history of boxing, quit in the middle of the ring. I just refused to carry on. He just fucking quit. He couldn't box him. He couldn't fight him. Couldn't get anywhere near him. And he knew, in my opinion, that over the next 2 or 3 rounds, getting licked the way he was going to either go the distance and get humiliated bigly, or he was going to get knocked the fuck out in the next couple of rounds, because you can't just keep getting hit like that without eventually taking a couple of good ones. And he knew he was going to get knocked out, and he took and shit fucked off to the left. 1982, what's the next big moment in this battle between these four and how they come together and smash each other up all through the 80s? Well, in 1982 then, Sugar Ray Leonard fights the great Thomas the Hitman Hearns, the Motor City fucking Cobra. So he's estimated to be up to 6'5". I've seen 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", but he's tall and he's slim. There's not, again, he's made to do what he wants to do. His body is designed to do what he wants it to do. He's long, his limbs are fucking long, you know. But you wouldn't even call him skinny. He's maybe wiry, you might call him, but he's well muscled. He's got long limbs, and he's technically superb. He can fight you from a distance, obviously. He's got that height advantage. He's got the long legs. He can bounce away. But he's got the rapid speed. His arms are fucking rapid, fast, and he can take you on the inside. He can school you on the inside, Thomas Hearns. So 99.9% of the world's population have just got no business being in the ring with Thomas Hearns. Too good, too fast, too powerful. Just a naughty nightmare to get in the ring with, because he's got the knockout power, he's got the boxing skills, he's got the full fucking thing, really, in my opinion. Thomas Hearns. He was actually probably my favourite when I was a kid. After saw him the first time, I just loved the way he boxed, and I loved his power. And so they had a fight, and they had a barnstorming fucking absolute smasheroo, them boys. And I mean, Leonard couldn't get near him in the first, I would say, 4, 5, 6 rounds. He's smaller, you know, and after he embarrassed Duran as well, he gets in the ring with Thomas Hearns, and Thomas Hearns says, right, I'm going to embarrass you now, same as you did to him, I'm going to do it to you. And he did, you know. Sugar Ray couldn't get anywhere near him, really. He couldn't really get a glove on him. And people were starting to snigger at Sugar Ray. It was a total role reversal. But Sugar Ray didn't leave it, obviously. Didn't just fucking say no mass in the middle of the ring, or no more or whatever, and fuck off home. He carried on. He comes at him. He sticks with him. He's fucking trying to get at the big bastard. And eventually he gets through to him. Middle rounds, 9th round, they have a fucking barnstormer. Bang, 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 bang. And this is when Sugar Ray's really taking control of the fight. But fair play, you know, and it was brutal. You know what I mean? Some wicked exchanges. And they both showed the mettle. They both showed how hard they were, how good they were. And Thomas Hearns fought his way back into it, you know. Strong, solid, resilient. Fuck you, you know. He came back into it, and it turned into a great fight, one of the great fights of all time, in my view. And then you get to the 14th round. There's a 15-round fight. And Sugar Ray showed his finishing. And when Sugar Ray gets you on the ropes, because he can bounce back out and then come back in, you know, he's got them skills. He can pick his punches. Bang, bang, liver. Bang, kidney. Bang, 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 10 to the face. Really fast, really precise. He's not the biggest hitter in the world, but the accumulation of them, it's bang, bang, bang. You know, he'll hit you 3 times in the same spot and bang one across the jaw. And he gets Tommy against the ropes. He puts him through the fucking ropes. You know what I mean? Batters him through the ropes. Nobody does that to Thomas the Hitman Hearns. So he's answering all his critics again. Right? And then he finishes him shortly after, because he's just fucked now. Thomas Hearns can't carry on. He's just used everything he could to try to beat Sugar Ray, and he didn't have enough on the night. So that's 1992. 1982. 83, Leonard retires. He's had a piss poor fight with somebody. Well, that's probably a bit harsh, but it wasn't one of the great classics that we're looking at here. And he got a detached retina. And so every doctor around him said, don't fight again. This is mirrored in Rocky. We see this in Rocky 2, where he's told not to fight. You know, he's got a fucked up eye. And so this actually happened to Sugar Ray Leonard, and he was told, don't fight again, you can't fight, and all that. And so he retired. And at this time, Marvin Hagler's coming up, and he wants his shot and all that. and he was a right bastard with Marvin Hagler. Humiliated him. Because everyone's waiting for him to get his title shot, gets the microphone in the middle of the ring saying, oh yeah, you deserve your title shot. Unfortunately, you're not going to get it. You fucking scumbag. But maybe he had a plan, I don't know. But that was a scum manoeuvre. So Marvin comes through, and he's got through all these legal troubles that I mentioned earlier, and he's getting into it. And so he's getting his title shots, and he fights Duran, still knocking around, Roberto Duran, and they're too similar, they're very, very similar, these guys, and so they're giving no quarter, as they say. It's you against me, toe to toe, middle of the ring is mine, right? You move round me, no, fuck you, you move round me, and it was very much like that, and it was a fucking slugfest all the way through, absolutely battering each other, and Marvin Hagler was Marvin Hagler. He used to be out in the morning fucking screaming, war, war, running down the beach near where he lived screaming, war. At least that's where he was when I saw him. And, Duran was the same. So they stood up to each other and they matched each other. So, as we always say, fights are based on styles. It's matching styles. And Duran didn't have the style to get near Sugar Ray Leonard. That's why he said no mas and left it. But he had the perfect style to fight against Marvin Hagler and vice versa. And Marvin Hagler won that on points. But you look at, Duran at the end of the fight, he'll do another 10 rounds with him. So he didn't beat him on that level. Man to man, he didn't beat him up. He won the fight on points. But he didn't win the fight in that sense. Neither of them did. And then in 1984, we've got, so that was in 1983, Hagler beats Duran. 1984, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, fights Roberto Duran. Now, even looking at this on paper, look at fucking Duran. Right? Look at his body. Look at his dynamics. He's like me, big head, short arms. Right? How the fuck is he going to fight the Motor City Cobra? He's not going to get anywhere bastard near him. He's got no mobility. He's got no real footwork to speak of. And like I say, big head, short arms. It's like fucking mail order whipping fucking buddy for Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Send me one like this. Right? Send me one with a big head, short arms and no fucking footwork whatsoever. And see what happens. And Tommy Hearns just smashed him up, and the knockout, man, that is lights out, bang. But it was easy pickings. He just fucking twatted him, as we say in Manchester. He twatted him like a naughty boy, knocked him the fuck out. And so Roberto Duran there, he quit against Leonard, and he got sparked out, bad styles, easily by Thomas the Hitman Hearns. And so that was in 1984. In 1985, we get the Hagler-Hearns War. This is Thomas the Hitman Hearns versus Marvin Hagler, a.k.a. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Fuck me. The build-up to this, they were calling it the fight, whatever. But the build-up to this was massive. These are absolute mega fucking stars of boxing, these two. And people are arguing. You've got two camps of people very convinced their guy's going to win. And, I can understand, because one's Marvellous Marvin Hagler and the other one's fucking Thomas the Hitman Hearns. And they get in a ring, and it's just frenzy. It's fucking frenzy. Bang. It's controlled. It's skilled, but it's violence. It's me and you, Conte. Who's going to last? Right? I'll give you a clue. It's fucking me. Bang, 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 bang. Fuck off. And they just smashed the shit out of each other to fuck. And it was really just a question of who is harder. And of course, you get these big lad Tommy, as we know. But, I mean, Marvin he's the best I've ever seen at doing these jump shots. He'll jump across the ring with both his feet off the ground, and smash you like that. Or these long straight rights like that. And you'd think they wouldn't have much power by the time he got there. And you'd be absolutely wrong. Got plenty of power, knockout power actually. And I've seen him do it many times. and he catches Tommy with that, and he outmanned him on the day. He outfought him, and they went in there. They had a fight, and after the fight, they stopped calling it the fight. They started calling it the war. And I would say, as a 3-round fight, that's probably the best piece of boxing we've ever seen. The most intense, violent, skilled, and fantastic, almost Hollywood, where Hollywood wouldn't dare to write it. Fucking awesome. And you've got to give credit to Marvin. He won the fight, knocked him out in the 3rd round. And then we come to 1987 when all this comes to a head. And Sugar Ray's been out of the game for 5 years. He's been retired for 5 years. And so nobody's really giving him much chance, although he looks fucking good. And it's Sugar Ray Leonard. And, you can never count him out because he is so good at what he does. But is that going to work against Marvin Hagler? He's younger, he's the champion, he's undefeated in a fucking shitload of time at least. And he's really going to beat fuck out of this guy. We're pretty sure about it. A lot of people didn't want to go out and say it because Sugar Ray was so mouthy, he'd never let you live it down, and he would rub it into fuck. If you went in a newspaper, you went on television saying, oh yeah, Sugar Ray's going to get smashed. Well, you might be right, but what if you're not? Because Sugar Ray Leonard was very good at expressing himself, and he would let you know, let the whole world know just how wrong you were, and so people were just kind of tentative about it. Anyway, the fight comes around, and I've seen it many times, and this thing still causes a lot of fucking aggravation. People get really angry about it, and it's because I think both fighters put so much into it. And if you're a really believer that this guy won and the other people say no he didn't, it fucks you off. You think fuck off, you don't know what you're talking about. And so they had the fight, and I thought that Marvin came out a bit slow. I thought he didn't really know what to expect from Leonard or how to deal with it. I thought Leonard looked completely calm, especially considering he'd had major surgery on his eye and he was fighting marvellous Marvin Hagler. And so, as you might expect, it was very much to form. It's very much what you would expect. So Leonard's using the ring. He's everywhere. Footwork, bang, 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 and he's away. And he's doing the old Muhammad Ali strategy where, you're moving away, but when the bell's going to ring and you fucking control that shit. And so the last 10, 15 seconds, you want to get your licks in. So, bang, 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 bang. And that's the last thing the judges see when the bell rings. And so that's very important. And he was doing that, and Marvin's just coming forward all the time. Very systematic. Bang, bang, picking his punches, And, bit of to and fro, some wonderful exchanges, really good fight. I think it's a great fight. It's an absolute classic fight. And you get to the end, and Mr. Sugar Ray wins on points. Now, this is the part where people get angry. Sugar Ray Leonard won the fight because it was a boxing match. It was pugilism, right? That's why they're wearing gloves. You put them out, I don't know. I mean, Sugar Ray, what he did against Duran, what I've seen him do against Hearn, could he go toe-to-toe with Marvin Hagler? I don't know. Duran did. Fucking Thomas Hearns tried it, lasted 3 rounds. I'm not sure. I'd probably not. But it's a boxing match. And if you look at it from that perspective, Leonard won it. And he did win it, But you have to say he was a superior boxer. He outboxed him completely. In the last round, he's ducking him. He's ducking him for fun. He's nearly spinning him like a fucking top. And then he does it at the end of the final round, just bang, 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 bang. Leave you with that and walk away. And he knows he's won, and he has.